Okay. Now that's up and running. Somebody say something.
Something.
Ah!
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 Oh!
Hang on, I need to add a soundboard. 1 second.
Uh,
Oh, while she's digging up the soundboard, Durakka might not have even noticed her right away. Just to emphasize, Ari is smaller than a halfling is, generally, by a few inches at least. And she
Yeah,
weighs
she's
as much
little.
as two league
Approximately 2
official
footballs.
footballs.
wiggle, wiggle, blah.
All right.
Durakka's big too, right? Space Orc?
Yeah, pretty big.
Space Orc, Klingon.
I have a soundboard for all of you.
Okay.
See, we should have used that in that Fallout game. I'd have played a robot and would just periodically do that whenever anyone said Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I forget what this one sounds like. Honk the battle bus. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's. Ari tends to ride around in Skrag's giant carapace, and she's been tricking him out. It's the horn now, but she's gonna get some hydraulics in next week.
All right. With the battle bus, I think it's time to start. So it's been a few.
He looked at me.
Huh?
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
What, Lyssa? What'd you say?
It's been 1 week since he looked at me.
All right. Well. I love you.
Damn it, you've given the DM the giggles. All right, I'm running the game now. No, you are set in the world of. Oh, what's that horror? No, never mind. Tangent. Please, Riley, continue.
All right. Okay. All right.
Should I do
Yeah,
the
actually, on the
Wilhelm scream?
soundboard, Riley
Should I get-
actually made that scream.
Should I get the Wilhelm scream but with reverb?
No, you can't use the reverb on everything. Otherwise, it
Sure
gets
I
too
can.
stale, and you stop noticing the reverb. The reverb has to be able to stand out. If too much of the soundboard is reverb,
So we have the normal squeaky toy. But then we have
you just really like reverb.
it makes it funnier.
It's funny. I like it
Yeah.
too.
Anyway, soundboards aside.
Soundboards aside, it has been a few days since Durakka kind of joined the ship. A few days of sailing, a few days of downtime. Some time for Durakka to get acquainted with the crew, if she so chooses to.
Sure.
Yeah. So the Astral Reaver is a pretty diverse ship, away team aside, between like Athoz, Skrag, Squish, and Ari. As Durakka, you notice that the officers are all GIF, the big hippo people, and the ship is kind of appropriately sized. Large doorways. There's in sort of like in the kind of eating area, you see that there are the kind of larger stools or chairs for them to sit in, and then the contrast between their chairs, their furniture, and everyone else's is pretty plain to see. Um, and the last few days, like, they've been the crew's been kind of giving you some space, kind of letting you recover from your ordeal. But
Wolf has been relentlessly hitting on you.
how is Durakka feeling?
Feeling welcomed and comfortable, but itching for more excitement and combat,
Mm-hmm.
and the irritability of that kind of shows.
Okay. So out of the crew roster that I have here in the Discord, is there anyone that you want to that would pop out at Durakka?
Mention the elves.
There are also 2 elves on board too.
Wait, you
And-
posted the...
Oh,
Hang on.
it is in. Hold on.
Crew
let me-
roster.
Yeah, let me tag you.
Oh, yeah.
It's
There
a
you go.
bit to read. I kind of assumed you'd be looking through it, but
Oh, my bad.
oh no, it's all good. It's all good. I'd say like most of the crew are human. There's 2 dwarves, 2 elves, 2 Gith Yankee, and then the 2 auto gnomes. There's another Thri-kreen on board. It's kind of
Warforged.
a good mix. Oh yeah, and curator too. Yes, curator to the Warforged.
And a fire Ganassi. They're non-binary, and I feel represented, even if I am playing a creature without gender at all.
Trying to skim through as best I can.
Oh no worries. I didn't mean to put you on the spot there.
Oh, it's okay. No, you're right. I should have read, but I kind of forgot about it.
No, it's all good.
Fucking Wolf Cinder Spear looks cool.
That's the one I said was almost certainly going to be hitting on you. It just seemed like, I mean, you just seem his type. I don't know.
Isn't Wolf the one that threw Ari overboard?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's just
Yeah.
the kind of hazing that a space orc would appreciate.
Yeah, he threw Ari overboard as a hazing thing.
And then he also got thrown overboard.
He also got thrown overboard, but he made up for it later by getting a critical hit on that giant shark. Or what's
Shark.
it called? Thresher?
Shark.
Scaver.
Oh, Scaver. Yeah, Space Scaver. I just don't think the names were ever very good in this game. Like, you make a barnacle and you call it a leech? What the fuck?
Actually, I was looking through one of the old Spelljammer bestiaries, and it's actually referred to as a barnacle. So, like, for some reason, they changed the name.
Oh, it's 5e's fault. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Maybe I don't know.
Scaver, though. Scaver.
Yeah.
I mean, it's accurate. Sharks scavenge a lot, but they're also deadly predators, and I think their name should reflect that.
I think what Durakka is most interested in is finding someone to spar with and having kind of a close interaction through that.
Okay.
Squish is doing what appears to be some kind of combat training on the foredeck. Sorry, that's not even on the map. It would just be the deck that was fore as opposed to aft. Just somewhere on the main deck. Squish is beating the shit out of a training dummy. Specifically using its pseudopod to try to hit it from further and further away as hard as it can.
I think Durakka sees this and is going to approach. And just like, hail, interesting way to attack an enemy there.
Oh, hello, Durakka. Yes, I am trying to do better fighting with solids. I was on the ship for a while. They did not think it would be good to send me on away missions, but I am good on away missions because I am good at killing and eating things. But I think I can kill and eat things better, so I am trying to learn, which is hard for me because I do not have a brain.
Well, you may not have a brain, but it appears you have a warrior spirit. How would you like to practice hitting me?
Is Squish kind of congeals into a single like beanbag chair. I need to ask Athos's permission first. Where's Athoz at?
He will be either in his study. Or
Squish
window.
just seeps between the wider gaps in the beams, just goes right down into the deck, flows under Athos's door a short time later. Athoz, I have a big question I have to ask.
We need to talk about it. Doesn't matter. Yes, how can I help you?
Durakka, the new girl, she wants me to try to hit her for training reasons, I think. Is that okay?
As long as you don't do any lethal damage, it should be fine. Just if someone gets hurt, make sure you get the medics.
Okay. And Squish surges back up through the decks, disappearing as soon as it arrived. Athoz says it is okay, but I cannot deal you lethal damage. Is it alright if I do not deal you lethal damage?
It's fine by me. And just, with that and a hearty thump on her chest with her hand, she kind of takes on a pose like she's getting ready to, like, dodge or move out of the way or just tank the damage.
Do you guys want to roll initiative, or are we just going to do?
Could we just? What do you want to do, Ellie?
I was just gonna have Durakka just essentially endurance train or like try to dodge it.
But I mean, like, do you want a full ass fight between the two, or do you want just a couple of rolls and some hand waving?
That's kind of more what I was thinking. Like, if you just want to roll some attacks on Durakka and call it good.
Okay.
The colors inside Squish churn with sudden violence, and it launches itself at you to entangle you in its biomass.
Oh gosh. So that's an athletics. What do I need for
It
that?
would be
That would be either athletics or acrobatics. Either one of your choice.
Oh, gotcha.
You have to beat a 28.
Wow. I did not.
So, Durakka, you are grappled by Squish as Squish kind of wraps itself around you.
and roll for prone. Oh wait, it's an athletics additionally for making an enemy prone, right?
I'm actually not entirely sure, but let's go with that.
Okay, so you would need to then beat that or be prone.
Can I rage?
Sure.
Alright, Durakka is going to go into a rage, and as she's like trying to resist you, you see a bunch of spectral Dukagshi at her side, currently trying to help her break out of your grapple. And wait, do I get like advantage or something?
I think so. Hold on, let me take a look-see here. I want to say that's how it works. That sounds right.
Oh wait, I've got it right here.
Oh yeah, you have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws.
Oh,
So yeah,
sweet.
26 beats it.
Sweet.
Yep, so Squish still has you ensnared, but you are able to keep its surging liquid mass at bay. And he goes, "My goodness, you are very strong."
Why, thank you. And so is it my turn now?
Yes. Yeah.
Sweet. Gonna try and break out of the grapple.
All right. Go ahead and do that. Athletics with advantage.
Boom.
All right. 15. And then I
Oh,
believe.
I have to then beat that, right?
Yes, I believe so.
And that is with advantage because I have advantage on grapple. So
Oh my
that's
God.
a 30.
Oh my gosh, that's a natural 20 too.
Shh.
Squish shows no signs of aggression. This is just like an amusement, but the strength in this mass is substantial. And it just says, "Ha, no, I have you."
I'm just picturing like extending out of Squish a giant like realistic like super detailed hand just like gripping Durakka. Just no.
Actually, because that's just so fucking amazing. So breaking the grapple is the whole turn he gets. You got bonus?
I don't know actually. I guess that's my turn.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, initiating a grapple counts as one of my attacks, so I can like do 2 attacks and then a bonus because I'm a monk. So if you have another attack, can you use that to... Sorry, I should really know this. Grappling is my thing. My head is just not quite screwed on right today, I'm afraid. But anyway, so non-lethal damage. Squish is going to take on the shape of a secondary mass, and the primary mass around you is basically a big fist. And it deals the 20 hit.
Oh, 20 hit? Yes.
Okay, so 9 non-lethal bludgeoning damage. Squish basically just squeezes. And you could sense that probably could squeeze harder.
Oof. Okay.
And just keeps squeezing.
Oh, jeez.
Those are the squeezes. You get the big squish hug.
So wait, you just did 30 points of damage?
Yeah. But non-lethal damage. Non-lethal damage.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works in this context, but we'll just say that Squish is being restrained.
Huh.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to roll an intelligence to see if Squish forgets to be restrained and accidentally tries to kill and eat you. It's doing fine. It's doing fine.
I might have a gif for what this looks like in my head.
Just hope he mutes.
This is what it looks like.
Yep. It's all stomach. It's all stomach. That Homer gif is the truest one there.
Just Durakka's the fucking Duff beer can and just being...
Durakka's the beer can, Homer is Squish, and then Bart is already just off to the side of watching this, like, oh god.
Yeah, she's just sitting there watching. She's got like a bag of chips or something. Just
Yeah, Athoz told her, just be on the deck, would you? The main deck, just in case.
I'm hoping it's Durakka's turn now.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
it
no,
is.
that was 2 attacks in the bonus.
I just want to see if she can break out of this. Alright. Huh. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. I will just try it, just for the sake of it. We
All right.
technically tie, but I
Um,
think it goes to the crit, right? In a
I
tie?
I'm gonna say it goes to the crit and the defender, and I'd say like Durakka's technically the defender in this situation. So, um,
In this big, like, epic motion, she just kind of, like, flexes off, Squish off of her, and, like, as, like, Squish is, like, kind of, exploding off of her, you just see, like, all her, like, spectral ancestral Dukagshi peeps, like, just kind of, like, shoulder tackling the bits of Squish away from her.
You did it!
And she just kind of goes, and I think with that, I am satisfied. And kind of like goes, what's the word? Drops her rage, and just pats Squish on the shoulder, and then walks away.
Shoulder. Squish doesn't have those.
Whatever
You
equivalent,
just patted a bit like
whatever
you pat a
feels,
beanbag chair.
whatever
That's basically
feels
the.
shoulder adjacent.
Although, yeah, Squish now has a face, right, Riley?
oh yes, yeah, you got
Squish has this circle
tattoo.
encompassing a semicircle inside it, this runic black mark on its mass, and it kind of shifts it around to kind of suggest a mouth or an eye. It's the mark of Celestian. Was that good? I did not hurt you, I do not think.
Oh, it was wonderful. You're a true warrior. Now I know I'm in a. Now I know I've got someone very capable by my side. As she, like, her whole face is all fucked up.
It's just all
She's just got
bruised,
some
maybe
burst blood vessels.
some
So
burst.
how does non-lethal damage work? Do they still need like healing?
So I'd
Just
say like
rest it off.
yeah, so you can basically just rest it off. If I remember right, it's like how non-lethal damage works is kind of the same as lethal damage, except you fall unconscious instead of die. So I'd say like it would just be like a thing that time would fix. Not
I don't remember if this is fourth or not, but I think it was like you would take twice as much non-lethal damage as you'd be able to take lethal. Does that sound right?
I actually don't know off the top of my head.
Who even
I've-
fucking cares? It was a good bout. Everyone had a good time. Durakka got squeezed. You feel an odd amount of oxytocin surging through your brain. It's hugs, man. Being squeezed tightly for
Yeah.
2 minutes elevates your oxytocin.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Durakka feels satisfied after, basically being able to take quite a wallop just now.
You guys get that all out of your system? And the voice is coming from this tiny little piece of shit.
Durakka just has this, like, big, toothy grin, and it's just like, I certainly did. That was exhilarating. I wanted to see just how hard that creature could hit, and I'm very satisfied with the result.
I do not have it out of my system, Ari. That is my system.
And she just stares at Squish. And then laughs, thinking that Squish is telling a joke.
Squish briefly assumes Ari's form and tries to mimic her laugh.
cue just
Poorly.
laughing back and forth. Yeah.
Poorly. It's probably just kind of vaguely disconcerting instead.
You do the Jared Leto Joker laugh.
Oh, no. Not that disconcerting.
That'd be if you rolled like a nat 1.
Ooh, rolled nat 1. Oh, from now on we're going to call that Lido's. Up, rolled a Lido.
Oh, isn't there a video of somebody that like laughs but they don't smile or like their face doesn't change? Yeah, so I kind of imagine Squish is doing that.
Keep working on that one, buddy. Keep working on that one.
There's like a
Squish returns to beanbag shape. Laughing is still a challenge for me. Do you know that most animals find the showing of teeth to be aggressive? Why is that fun for so many solids?
I don't know.
Squish is utterly satisfied by I don't know and resumes wailing on the dummy. Like no interstice at all. Just huh. And then just wallop a wallop a wallop.
that poor dummy.
It is trying to figure out how to be lethal from further and further away so that it can stay close to its solids. It needs to protect them. They have so many bones and organs. They're so fragile. Do not worry, solid friends. Squish will keep you safe. Uh-oh.
Oh no,
Is this
ignore
chat-
that.
Oh.
No, that was just me getting a potential something ready. No big thing.
One fear. One fear.
I said potential. Gosh. Alright. Yeah, and after the bout, everyone, you see that it's kind of a part of the day cycle where there's kind of a bit of downtime for the crew. Like, there's still a few lookouts, but looks like some people have pulled out some fishing rods and they're starting to kind of fish off of the side of the Reaver, hoping to catch something from the Astral ocean that the ship is gliding along. And you do see there are a few spare fishing rods set aside with bait and tackle as well, if anyone wants to join in.
Yep.
Alright, so
Is there a
Oh.
RA-sized fishing rod, or are they all too big for her?
most of them are too big for her, but you see one of the auto gnomes, I'm actually gonna flip a coin for which one, because they are basically the same size. It's gonna be Zimmy, who is kind of the deckhand, the on-ship janitor, as it sees you kind of looking through the tall fishing rods, trying to find one your size, as it says, "Hey, Ari! Here, you can use my fishing rod."
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
And she's gonna take that fishing rod.
Alright.
This is the story of how we lost a character during downtime when a huge fish bites that line and just
How
hauls
did
her
you
off
know
the
that
ship.
that's what I was going for?
Because you are a fucking lemming.
Because you are a fucking lemon. That's the first time I've heard of that.
I mean,
Oh no,
how
lemming.
funny would
Lemming,
that be?
as in the animals that charged off the cliff, only they didn't actually. That was something horrible, but
Just imagine she's sitting there fishing, and then the next second she's fucking gone. She just gets yanked off.
All right, make a survival check for me.
Oh no.
The DC is going to be 15.
12.
Nothing's biting.
Wait, roll a d4. Squish is technically on that deck.
13.
I'm not surprised, but I am still a little disappointed.
All right, so yeah, an hour passes and not having much luck. Do you want to try fishing for another hour?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and make another roll. If somebody wants to use the... Oh, actually...
Oh, it
a
clicked twice.
22 does it. Alright, so as for what you catch, you catch this really tiny, this very tiny astral fish. It's probably about the size of Ari's hand. As you see, it's like brightly colored. It's like kind of a mix of reds and greens as it's flipping and flopping in your hand or on your line.
I want to keep it as a pet. It's no good to eat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just
So
fill a fish tank with phlogiston and boom, there you go.
So yeah, you're able to find a jar really quick, and you slap a lid on there, screw it on tight, as it's kind of floating in its own little beta fish tank.
I'm gonna spend all my money, deck it out. That's
I
gonna
can't be the only one who thought this thing would look like a beta fish from Riley's description, am I? Because I was thinking beta as soon as that went in.
I don't know what a balefish looks like.
Beta, B-E-T-T-A.
I did say beta.
Oh, sorry. My headphones are not doing great and they're new, so that's...
There's a few different kinds of beta fish, kind of depending on what breed you get, basically. But they...
I want to go for an ethical breed, because fuck those longfin breeds.
Yeah.
Longfin?
So there's two different kinds of beta fish. There are the long fins, and then there are the short fins. The long fins tend to be male, and the appeal of beta fish is that
They're very pretty.
they are very pretty when they flare up and flare their fins and stuff. But the flaring, they're bred for their aggression.
Yes. Like, this is a flared up longfin.
So they're aggressive?
They're very aggressive. They are bred for their territorialism. Males cannot be kept together. At all. No
Yeah.
matter
It's
the
funny,
size of the tank.
we had two males in a divided tank, and I guess it was just being separated, but they were the best of friends. Both definitely male, and I think they still would have tried to kill each other in the same exact water, but side by side they made bubble nests for each other and all kinds of shit, and when
Oh
the
my
one
God,
died,
they
the
were
other...
gay?
Probably. When the one died, the other was miserable for the rest of its life. Beta fish are a little smarter because they're actually labyrinth fish, and they actually breathe instead of just getting air from their gills in the water. And as such, it's a higher oxygen content in their blood, allowing for higher cognitive processes.
They also can recognize faces, and if taken care of properly, they will recognize like their keepers.
Ours definitely did.
They can become very, very affectionate towards their keepers.
Name the fish, Ari. Name it.
Fish sticks. Fish and chips. Ceviche.
Ooh, I love ceviche.
Calamari.
I'll come up with a name. I will come up with a name.
All right. Yeah, as you're getting the jar together for the fish,
Jar from Athoz, no doubt. Probably stealing it while he's deep in
Yeah.
his studies.
Yeah.
yeah, while
It'd be really
you're-
funny, like she's trying to find a thing to hold this fish in, right? Searching the ship up and down. She went to the kitchen. There's not a jar that's readily available. She just walks into Athos's room, says nothing to him, grabs like an empty jar from some box in the corner, and then walks out.
Well, wait, hold on a second though, because Athoz is a biologist. His quarters probably have like terrariums and shit, right?
He has a lot of samples of. His main goal is to basically build a bestiary, a bestiary tome. That's why he's joined the Astral Reaver to basically study and basically spread information of what each creature can do. So think of it like an in-universe monster manual of sorts.
Neat.
That's totally what I was thinking you were going for when you'd gotten into this a little bit then. But yeah, bestiary.
All right. Ari, make a stealth check. And then, Athoz, what is your passive perception?
Good question. Hang on, let me see. If I could put the thing. My passive perception should be high. My passive perception is 14.
All right, Ari, that is your DC. All right,
10.
with a stealth roll of 10.
I was kind of hoping I'd fail it anyway, because that'd be so
okay.
much funnier.
Yeah, so what happens is as you have this little fish kind of in your hands, or cupped in your hands, as it's kind of, you can feel it kind of flailing around in your cupped fingers as you're trying to keep it from swimming like away and off the ship. And your kind of hurried steps, you step on a floorboard that squeaks with just the exact amount of loudness that you watch as Athos's ears kind of prick up.
Athoz, I need a jar!
Well, hello to you too.
I need a jar!
As he looks down at the little fish. Oh, okay, hang on. He rummages around, and you can ask if you get to just throw things like into the background. Nope, that's not it. Nope. When did I get this? I'll figure that out later. And then about like a minute later, he hands you a jar. Here, just make sure you get enough phlogiston to keep it alive.
Okay, thank you. And she's gonna scuttle right out.
He's gonna get up from his chair, from his spot that he was digging out. He's gonna follow after her. Like, oh no. I thought she was gonna have dinner, but oh well. As he follows her behind.
Actually, do a nature check for me, Zest, as you see what kind of fish she has.
I'm not very good at nature. Let's see. Ironically enough.
I rolled an 8.
I roll a natural one. I roll a natural one.
All right. Yeah, it looks like you don't recognize the type of fish exactly, but you're sure
Seen
that
it before in your life.
like you've seen them before. You remember that most of the time, wild spacers will like toss them back out into the astral sea when they catch these. But I mean, it doesn't mean it's not edible.
He's like, huh. Well, for some reason, I have this nagging feeling in the back of my head that I'm forgetting something, and I can't remember. It must not be that important. And you see continuously follow Ari to the wherever she's going.
She's going back to her quarters.
Durakka or Squish, feel free to do a nature roll for me as you see Ari kind of scuttle past either of you.
Oh, this should. Hey, I talk a big game about Pidge's rolls. Oh, no shit! Hey, Jack.
Hey.
We haven't just very minor shenanigans.
Yeah.
But yes, as I was saying, Pidge can roll a 1. That's as bad as she can do. But I have an intelligence of 6, so let's just see what that looks like. Oh, actually, that's...
That's a normal roll. 15.
That's pretty okay. Yeah, so
And Durakka roll a 20.
Durakka and Squish, you would both recognize the fish as inedible. It's a very, really good thing that Ari is not eating the fish, but keeping it as a pet. It's this tiny inedible fish that if she ate it, she would be having a bad case of diarrhea for like a week straight.
Oh, the old shit yourself fish. Great pet. Is Ari, is she loving this fish? Squish doesn't really read faces. Squish is tasting like people's chemicals out of the air.
Yes.
And
She's definitely like excited about the fish.
all right. And yet that is a 2. Sorry. No, you know what? I'm turning back on that. Oh. You have a friend in a jar. I have been a friend in a jar before. It is a little confining, Ari.
I'll upgrade it.
Squish oozes over to get a closer look at the fish in a jar. I was once out there, where the fish lived, for a very long time. Sometimes this boat feels like a jar. It is small and closed. But I could leave whenever I wanted. You should just ask the fish to stay. And then it doesn't need to stay in a jar.
And she just blinks. In like confusion. She has no idea what this goop is talking about.
To be honest, I don't either. I'm trying to figure out what it was all that about. So, Athoz probably would understand Zest, just not fucking understand any of this.
So
Now remember, Squish in part is modeled after my experiences with chatbots.
Oh.
Squish's interactions with humans are often mimetic. Squish is mimicking solid. How much of that is Squish actually understanding it, and how much is just pattern recognition and reproduction? But, additionally, Squish is saying that the ship is its jar. That is how it is kept. That before it was in the sea and it was open, and this is a slightly more confining life. And that she should just tell the fish that she wants it to stay.
I will say that during Squish's speech about being kept in a jar and how confining it is, nobody that is looking at the fish really recognizes any sign of sentient life behind its eyes. It's just a fish.
A fish.
A fish.
A fishy fish.
Look, it's a thinking organism with a brain, bones, organs, all that. You really expect Squish to keep track of the differences between that fish and any person in this crew?
No, I don't. Sorry, everybody except Squish can see that the fish is just a fish. Which sounds kind of mean, but the fish is. I'd say the fish has probably an intelligence of 1 at least.
All right, we need to just bring Yacy in here real quick to awaken it. Pidge, get on it.
Well, Athoz is trying to think really hard what to say after all that.
Yeah, like Ari is so confused.
Wish, there are certain limits of certain creatures in terms of ability to think and speak. Unfortunately, this fish doesn't have the capability of sentience, just like you and I.
I'm naming it Sushi.
Oh, Ari,
Just
do not
blurts that
eat it.
out.
Do not eat it, or your organs will be very unhappy.
Even better of a name then.
We used to feed these things to our newest and youngest adventurers just as a hazing prank. But also to test their endurance.
What?
They poison people to see if they're tough enough not to die.
But also to see if they were smart enough not to do it again.
Is it a social fish, as in its behavior, or is it solitary?
Give me another nature check.
3 or 18.
10.
10. I'd say it's a social fish. They swim in like small schools.
Wish looks to Zest. God, sorry, I meant to say Athoz, but was reading Zest on my screen as I was speaking, and said what I was seeing with my eyes. This brain of mine. I learned how to speak in way solids understand. Just because it cannot speak like you do, does not mean it cannot communicate. And Squish is going to rise up and assume the form of a school of that fish. It's kind of an optical illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Squish is moving its more visible parts into its more translucent plasm and giving the appearance of a bunch of fish.
Okay.
And that's a 6. So the fish are entirely too big and frightening.
Oh. Yeah, as the little fish in the jar flutters and swims as if it's trying to get away, but also kind of doesn't realize, remembers, and then forgets all at the same time that it is trapped inside of a jar.
Squish stops with the mimicry. I'm still working on that. It does not always work.
See, well, the only way to make it more like you or an I is to find a mage that can cast spell to give us sentience.
Oh, that would be an excellent idea. I remember when I was given sentience. It was pretty exciting.
Fortunately, I'm not skilled enough to do something like that, nor is it in my study, in my group, in my wheelhouse. That is someone more in tune with nature, I believe.
How long until Yacy gets here? You know she'd just do it. abducted from her planet. It's like, we need you to make this fish smart.
See, Yacy actually didn't like the idea of awakened animals.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, there was the
Yeah,
oh,
because
yeah, in
to
the,
her, that's a perversion of nature.
yeah, I remember in
And knowledge is suffering.
our first campaign in Rime of the Frost Maiden, you guys came across that dinosaur in the lake and found out that it was kind of awakened, and then told to harass the fishermen, and it believed that if it didn't do that, it would be its awareness would be taken away, if I remember correctly.
There was also like a a walrus or something, some Arctic animal that was
Oh, yeah.
awakened and could talk.
Oh yeah, the surfer walrus.
Wally the Warlord.
Oh yeah, Ellie. In our previous campaign, at the kind of the later half of the adventure, going through a dungeon, they came across this walrus that had a kind of a surfer dude's voice, and was really chill.
Nice. Sounds like a dope dude.
Let's see.
But I have enjoyed my jar. Maybe Sushi will enjoy its jar. Good luck, Sushi. Squish returns to beating up the dummy.
So I see you guys were fishing while I was at my studies.
Yep.
Did you catch anything else?
I know I didn't. I sat there for over an hour and did nothing. Kind of bullshit if you ask me, but I got a little friend out of it.
Maybe for the best, I suppose. As Athoz approaches like the edge, he picks up a fishing rod. I mean, how high could it be? and then just tosses it.
All right.
Tosses the what's it called? Cast?
Yeah, cast out.
Yeah.
Cast out.
Casting a line. Go ahead and make a survival roll for me, Athoz, and then if does anybody want to help and give Athoz advantage?
You know what? Yeah. Squish sees Athoz doing something, and Squish is always eager to help Athoz, one of his two gay space dads. And Squish will provide advantage and a guidance. Squish just kind of props you up and
22.
keeps your foot and
All
steady.
right.
Thank
So,
you, Squish.
what you catch is a fish. It's tiny, so I want to say it's like the size of maybe like a small trout or a bass. It is one fish that can feed probably one person.
Man, and we beat the odds for that shit. God damn it.
As he pulls on the rod on the line again and pulls out the fish. That wasn't too bad. Not sure if it will feed more than one person though. If it is edible.
Or we could use it as bait to get more.
That is a possibility, but I'm not sure if the fishing line can survive something too big.
It seems like the rest of the crew is not having much better luck. It seems that you and Ari are the only people that have caught something over the course of like the last 3 hours.
I mean, we could try, Fish, if you want me to try to see if we can get something bigger. I will leave it up to you, Squish.
Squish goes over to the mooring line and begins to unspool it from the pegs.
Okay. The mooring line is in like, is it like a thick rope or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will be the hook. Throw me over, and I will catch fish with me, and that for bait.
Okay. That was not what I thought it was gonna go, but if you do want to try, we'll give it a shot, I suppose. Miss Durakka, can you give me a hand and hold the line just in case? I'm not the
Yeah.
strongest.
Of course, and she very gladly holds the line.
And
I'm very excited to see how this plays out.
Athoz gonna give the trout to Squish. Says, "All right, Squish, we're gonna throw you out into the I can't ever say the name right. Flagish.
Call it the
But it's
flow.
Call it the flow.
Okay, I'm gonna so remember, Squish. We're gonna throw you into the flow, and if there's anything large, we'll pull you back up as fast as we can. All right?
If anything bad happens, I will just go up the rope. It is easy for me, Athoz.
Okay. Good little Squish. And then he'll pick up Squish. Take the
With
pose
Durakka's help.
with the records take the pose as he's gonna throw like a brick at something, and then toss the Squish.
Protester Chuck.
The protester struck, yes, and then tosses Squish as far as he can.
All right.
You just hear Fish's voice. Fish.
All right. I'll say go make a survival roll with advantage.
Which one of us?
I'm gonna let's go with Athoz.
All right. Let's see. Survival. There it is. 20.
Okay.
And,
All right.
22 again.
Okay.
I wonder what the deal is with 22 that it's coming up. Could it have cosmic significance? I say yes.
I was thinking more of Taylor Swift's song, but
Oh, yeah.
22.
Yeah, so Squish, as you are cast out into the astral ocean, in the ribbons of rainbow colors and silver streams of light, you feel the drag as the ship is kind of moving along. You're kind of gently pulled along at a feels like a coasting speed as make a perception check for me.
Yes, indeed. 21.
All right. And you see something coming up from below, a dark shape as a hand tries to grab the fish. It's this kind of webbed, scaled hand that tries to grab a hold of the trout.
Yeah, so Squish was basically just camouflaged on the rope. Like, not just, the fact that in the flow, Squish is that color already,
Mm-hmm.
but was kind of mooshed around the rope. As soon as something goes for the fish, Squish gonna grapple it.
All right, you grapple it as it
All right.
tries to struggle and pull away.
Squish will give a big hard tug on the rope.
All right, Mr. Arco, that's our signal. Let's pull. As Athoz begins to pull
All
from
right.
his side.
So as Athoz and Durakka pull on the rope, kind of heave ho, some of the other crew see what's going on, and they also help to join in as you rapidly pull the rope on board. And what you see is, I'm gonna call it an astral sahuagin. This kind of
Sahwagan?
yes,
Yeah,
sahuagin. This kind of merfolk creature, and kind of like Squish, it has kind of like a rainbow scales that glimmer and change color in the light as it's pulled up onto the deck, flailing for a moment before it kind of realizes where it is, as it's looking around and is going to try to look for a way out.
Well, Squish is still holding on.
Oh, okay. So it's just kind of stuck to the rope, and it's going to make another strength roll to try to break free.
Make my day. 24.
All right, as it's just stuck to the rope.
Athoz is just looking dumbfounded. Sir, calm down. I know this looks bad. Just let us give us a second to explain. Just calm down.
As the Sahuagin is starting to scream and shout in a language none of you understand. It's kind of like somebody trying to scream and gargle underwater.
Give Athoz 6 seconds, he'll understand.
Can I understand? Let's see.
Wait,
Yeah.
oh no, wait, that's just comprehend written? I thought you
don't
had comprehend languages.
No, I think the wait, comprehend language is just.
That's
Hang
just
on.
written. My bad.
No, let's see. Any spoken language this is.
Oh,
So I can't understand it. So I take some seed, some salt, and swallow them up and cast comprehend languages. Yeah, it says any spoken language you hear.
All right.
okay, good.
Although I don't
Right,
think. But the only thing is, I don't think I can talk it back.
right.
So I can
That's
understand what
clever.
this. So I can understand what they're saying, but I cannot speak the language.
Yeah. So the general gist that you get with comprehend languages is that this Sahag. Now I'm stumbling over my words.
Is a hard word to say.
Frog
Sahuagin.
person.
Uh,
Frog person.
this merman is basically he's freaking out. He's stuck to this rope. You can see like he's trying to kind of reach behind him to grab his trident. You can see already some of the other crew are kind of already on edge, like, oh, is this thing gonna try to attack us? And with it being outnumbered, this could very easily go badly for this this merman.
If I may, briefly. Da Hua Gin. Hua Gin.
Athoz is gonna try. Athoz is gonna try something. It might be bad, but we'll see. He's gonna reach out and put his hand on its shoulder pad? Question mark. Shoulder thing, and he's gonna try to calm the creature down, underhandedly, but he's gonna try to calm the creature down.
Okay. Alright, has to make a wisdom saving throw. Alright.
It failed.
Alright. So yeah, you're able to calm the Sahagin down.
Sahwagin. There you go.
Sahagin down as it starts to kind of suddenly relax as you reach out and touch it, and starts kind of breathing more calmly as it's speaking. It's kind of also gurgling more calmly as well. As- basically,
Squish is letting go of it, sensing that Athoz is probably not behaving this way because they're about to eat it, and that's a little disappointing, but, Squish can live. They had that big shark. So yeah,
Can I-
Squish lets it go.
Can I keep this one as a pet?
I do not think this gentleman would appreciate if you kept him as a pet.
The small one got to keep one.
Yes, but as the early conversation, the small, Sushi's sentience isn't really up there. This is just a hot. God damn it! Now I'm fucking stumbling. Now I'm fucking.
Hold on, I'm writing it out. I'm writing it out.
That's a Hogwin.
Actually, I like that better than the pronunciation out of the books.
Oh well, that's a Hogwin.
The hot one.
The hot one, yeah. Unfortunately, the hot one that we have here is a bit more sentient, and plus we do not understand what it's saying, so there's also that language barrier. And I'm pretty sure that it'll try to attack us if we scare it too much. Unfortunately, I don't have the way to speak directly to it prepared.
Squish, are you giving the Sahagin the trout?
Oh, yeah, you know what? Because they do have a lot of fish aboard. Squish wonders why everyone's fishing so much when we caught that big fucking Degalodon the other day. Couldn't have gone through that all already, could we?
Oh
Well,
no,
actually,
no.
Squish could have.
It's
Squish totally could have.
yeah, the fishing on board is kind of a mix of
Pastime.
passing the time. Yeah.
Yeah, Squish will go ahead and give the Sahat one the trout.
Okay. As somebody give me an insight check.
Oh, Squish is
I don't
gonna
think
go.
All right.
Whoa, we are
All
insightful motherfuckers today.
what are we
Alright.
watching?
So basically, you can tell like it's not even sure if you understand it at all. The natural one I rolled was to see if like it realized you cast comprehend languages on yourself. But you can see like with the charm person, it's a lot. The Sahagin is a lot more at ease and isn't entirely sure if you can understand it, but as it's kind of seems to be more talking to itself than talking to you directly, it seems as if it's kind of realizing that this was just an honest mistake, as it takes the trout and then starts to kind of climb over the railings to launch itself overboard.
Wait, what we do is we use him to catch a bigger fish, and then we bring that one in.
No.
No?
We're not. No, we're not gonna use the Sahagwin to catch something bigger.
Okay.
It's one of those creatures that we're not allowed to eat.
But I eat those all the time.
You're the exception to the rule on that front.
I'm an exception.
Yeah, it's a matter of knowing when to and if you should. It's a lot more complicated to explain.
I
But
forgot what we were talking about. I'm going to go eat barnacles off the bottom of the ship.
all right, just make sure you don't lag behind if you decide to wander off.
Gravity plane.
All right.
Have
yeah.
fun, Squish.
The Sahagin launches itself off of the ship in a really kind of a pretty spin to its dive as it kind of throws itself downwards through the gravity plane and just kind of uses that momentum to kind of launch itself out of the ship's air envelope. And it disappears into the colorful ribbons of the astral sea.
If only we had a way to go underneath the astral sea. Maybe they have their habitat. Well, I would say that, but they'll probably try to attack us because we're foreign entities.
Hey, Zest, just a reminder, the sea isn't a single flat plane. It's huge currents, like giant streams of ocean going through space. So there's not really an ocean floor. And deep would be in the middle of the stream, not the absolute bottom.
I would still like to go to see their habitats. The language thing and the fact they're probably aggressive will be a problem.
As after a moment of kind of that thought to yourself, Athoz, you hear the one of the other Thri-kreen on board, Cleric, kind of make a comment to you and say, "Yes, I wonder what it tastes like." As you see this kind of mantis creature kind of scuttle on board, it's kind of putting its claws together steepling its claws together as if it's thinking.
It'll be hard to say, honestly.
I wish we could have kept it. Then I could have eaten it. I mean, studied it.
Well, no. It probably wouldn't be.
Ethical.
Yes, it probably wouldn't be as ethical. So
Oh, well.
probably wouldn't be the best if we let it go. Tell you what, though, if we ever manage to find an enemy of sorts that's a Sahagan, then we could try your methods of study. I'm pretty sure that's one way or not. There's plenty of Sahagan in the sea, in some cases.
Skrag is like, I'll get the old bay.
The the Astral Bay, actually.
Eldritch Bay.
The Eldritch Bay.
As Crick kind of seems to bob their head and say, "Very well, I suppose there's always next time." And you see them kind of scuttle back below deck, probably to try to take something from Skrag's kitchen again.
One of these days, that poor lad's gonna get kicked out, and not because of mutiny, but because it decided to grab stuff from Skrag's kitchen. Poor guy.
Yeah, Skrag just keeps that force cannon like at all times trained on the door. Just auto turret style.
I'm just kind of imagining like everybody on the ship knows that this Thri-kreen is not actually a biologist and just wants to eat everything at least once, but they just keep him on board for like the extra hands.
Hard to get a good help these days.
Maybe there's been like a few times that they've tried to take a bite out of Squish. Kind of shave off a little bit of cytoplasm, stuff like that.
Poor thing.
Yeah, he was in the fucking sick bay for like 2 weeks.
It's like, so what have we learned?
Squish's bit wasn't smart enough to do anything else other than eat its way out.
Like, fish are friends, not food.
That is the problem with eating me, is that I get to eat you back.
I will keep that in mind next time I'm hungry, I suppose.
I can just imagine Squish being like, "Enjoy your ulcer, asshole."
Alright, I'm literally just going to say that because it's amazing. Enjoy your ulcer, asshole.
When did you learn? It's like, what did you learn that word? Oh, wait, that's right. I forgot where we are. Ugh.
Yeah, I forgot
Actually,
that you have.
Ari
like-
has been teaching me many words.
Oh, goodness, I need a few aspirin.
I have been informed to call you a silly fremulum and a bitch. Oh, wait. I probably shouldn't have.
I see what look up was like, I don't believe in gods most of the time. Or I believe they're out to get us. So it's one of two things. Either the god side of you wanted to put Miss Ari in our past, so they can test how much patience I have for all this. And so far, this is the first time I'll pray. Any god out there, please give me strength. And give me patience too.
Squish, meanwhile, doesn't understand the concept of divinity enough to correct Athoz outright and be all like, yeah, I met a god once.
Like he does know that gods exist because of Mystra, but
Oh, he doesn't worship him, that's right.
yeah, he does. His kind does not worship them because in his realm is more the apex species of sorts that not even gods will go to their lands, according to myth anyway.
If our adventures ever took us to Athos's homeworld, that'd probably be pretty sick.
A fucking long ass savannah with a lot of family drama that he accidentally ran away from. But hey, that's neither here nor there. He didn't mean to run away, but he ran away nonetheless.
Hey, intent has to count for something, right?
Yeah, he didn't mean to. It's just that it happened, and now, however many years later, he hasn't gone back home because he can't find his way back.
Oh no.
Oh no, poor Athoz.
Oh, he's fine.
And now he's stuck here with this gaggle of idiots.
Well, it's a good thing he's not a healer, I suppose.
Could someone just put up a gif of Scar saying I'm surrounded by idiots? Because honestly, Scar is often how I see Athoz in my head these days.
I thought it would be Mufasa, but actually Scar makes...
Dude, it'd be Mufasa if you had a strength score higher than what is it, 11, 12?
11. Yes, I got 11 score.
He's a scrawny lion. And honestly, those are kind of sexy, so I think you should do it.
A scrawny.
I can just imagine, like, you guys end up on Theros, and it's like everyone except for Athoz is just these like buff, muscular lions.
He's still buff. It's just that he's not as buff as his other family members.
I mean, buffer.
Buffer, like pure steroids. pure. Well, because most of them will probably be like more like in the paladin area if there's a class.
Yeah.
But because Athoz decided to learn magic, his muscles got weaker.
You know, that's a really cool notion, actually. I in one of my games, it was a wizard who was fat because he had like all these like lazy ass magic spells, and just I like that detail. Just fly everywhere like Baron Harkonnen.
Good lord. No, that's the wrong. That's the wrong. What is that fat guy? Star Wars. It looks like a pile of flesh.
Jabba the
Jabba
Hutt.
the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt. Thank you. Like Jabba the Hutt.
That got Jack talking.
I said something earlier, but I don't think anyone
got-
heard me.
They got
Oh,
drowned
I
out
haven't
there.
heard you at all. I'm sorry, I missed that.
I'm also on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Are you driving home? Ish, kind of thing.
Writing.
Ah, okay. We capture a fish and we kind of failed at it. So, well, actually, let me fix that. Everybody else failed at it, except for I guess Squish technically.
Well,
Well,
no,
I've been
you and
here for
Durakka
almost-
were the fishermen. Squish was just the bait. Or hook.
What was it, Jack?
Nada.
Ace is just gonna leave the rest of the crew to their shenanigans. It's gonna go to the captain's quarters to ask where they're going for the next destination.
So you see Captain Boswell and Nelke kind of going over some of the star charts as he kind of looks up and says, Athoz. How is everything going?
Well, we just captured the Hogwin and let him go. But aside from that, it's been pretty calm waters.
And he gives a nod and says, so I believe we'll be coming across a spaceport soon enough. Nothing too large, but a small spaceport. I imagine the crew deserves a day of leave after sailing for so long.
I do agree. It's been quite a tumultuous journey so far.
As he gives a nod and says, I know our Dukagshi friend, or our Dukagshi guest, has seemed a bit restless. So I think it'd do her good to stretch her legs out a bit.
That'd be more because he wants to find people to spar with that are strong to stand up against her. But that's beside the point.
Sorry, Zest, that was super quiet. I missed the second part of what you said.
Oh, that's mostly because Mr. Rocco wants to find people to spar with that's as strong as she is. But that's beside the point.
It is true. I am feeling pretty restless, though, and would like to see some action soon.
He gives a nod. Alright, well, I've thought on it. We're going to try to pursue those elves that destroyed Miss Durakka's vessel. From what I'm seeing on the charts, from what we're seeing on the charts here, past this spaceport are 2 planets. One I haven't been on personally myself, but I believe the other one is a jungle planet. It's a settlement of gnome, a gnomish settlement is on this planet, and they raise space hamsters.
What the fuck?
Space hamsters? You mean the like tiny little ones that you can hold in our hands?
Oh
Kinda
no,
space
those ones on Toril are miniature giant space hamsters.
I thought they were just called hamsters.
Oh, Miss Ari, I do enjoy your
Nativity?
naivety, yes, on the greater expanse of wild space. See, what you call hamsters are specially bred for their small size. That is why we call them miniature giant space hamsters.
I also want to step in and be pedantic and say naivete.
Nativity.
Yeah, this is where I appreciate, the place where Jesus was born, but
Naivete.
David, hey.
The Neverine.
That never. The Nazareth?
All
Is
right,
that what it's
let me start over. Then.
Oh no, you made them lose composure.
Look what you've done.
I regret nothing.
As Boswell gives a hearty laugh and says, "Oh, Miss Ari, I do appreciate your naivete on the greater expanses of wild space. It humbles me so."
What?
What you know as what you know as hamsters are actually highly intelligent, telepathic, miniature giant space hamsters.
She just blinks.
I've seen them eat their babies. I mean, it's what Ari would say.
Yeah. They're not very smart.
Have you considered perhaps they are so smart that is what they would want you to think?
I don't know anything that's smart
Hmm.
that eats their own babies the way that those things do. All space media comes back to Vor.
Oh my god!
Actually, actually.
Just me lowering the. It has been numbered days since the game has had Vor, and just tending it right back to 0.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen what the other numbers
Am
look
I
like.
wrong?
You're not.
Well, most of the time it's caused by either you or Max, which is
Well,
strange to say.
Well, I suppose, Miss Ari, that perhaps the... I suppose, Miss Ari, that the climate and environment of Toril has perhaps changed the behavior of miniature giant space hamsters. But I assure you, they are, in wild space, they are actually quite good company to keep. But I think you will be interested to see the ordinary giant space hamsters. Am I correct?
Sure.
How big are they anyway? I actually forgot how big those space hamsters are.
The size of moons.
They're used as beasts of burden, so they have a good hefty size to them. I suppose the size of an ox, a small cow.
Well, there you go, Miss Ari. They're perfect for you. They're perfect for you.
Uh-huh.
Just be careful. Don't let them eat you.
No guarantees on that.
Please try not to get them eat you.
But anyway, the size of the hamsters is besides the point. We'll see if perhaps we can find a lead on where the elves have gone at the spaceport, and then we will pursue them and get proper revenge for the destruction of Durakka's ship and the loss of her former crew.
Well, at the very least, we'll have more reserves for Skrag, for his for elf jerky. Worst comes to worst.
Squish bursts into the room at the mention of elf jerky. Everyone goes quiet, and Squish just doesn't even do anything, just awaiting more words about elf jerky.
So, since these elves have done terrible things, it's alright to bend the rules a little bit, I suppose. Not usually my cup of tea, but I know that some people enjoy that sort of thing. No, I tried it once. It was not my my favorite thing to eat.
What was your favorite thing to eat?
Trying to think of it. I think it was probably Space Boar. Something simple. Or Space Gazelle.
Ah,
Or, e-
the winged space boar. Ah,
or
yes.
I do
That's-
Their
remember
wings are actually the best part.
very crunchy. Make it stock. I do remember from my chat from my cuphood. Is that how you said that though?
Yeah, I think
Cuphood,
so.
cuphood or cub
Cubhood. That works to me.
cuphood. My childhood, as humans would say, how the Sahara's great beast, a large, almost like a boar-like creature we used to hunt, will make a very tender kind of steak, full of fat and juicy.
Fats are important
I-
for you solids.
I dare say, Athoz, you are making me hungry already.
I'm sorry, sir. I'll
No,
try to.
I believe it's time for dinner.
It sure is. Been a while. Then the crew has been busy at trying and failing to capture fish, but we still have enough for leftovers from the previous expedition, along with rations, so we should be fine.
You know, on the subject of jerky, actually, I might bring out my vintage bag of a jerky of a planet my grandfather landed on. They said it was a. I remember him telling stories about it. It was a strange planet with multiple climates, and his ship landed on a desert planet where the humans on this planet, it was only humans. And he's telling the story as he's going down into the below decks to towards the kitchen. And he says, this planet of humans, this specific culture in this region, kept their jerky entombed inside of great pyramids of stone.
Oh.
It was the strangest thing that he ever saw, but he took some jerky from some of those pyramids, and he said it was the best he's ever had. He had to actually force himself to ration it out, and I still have a bag kept hidden in my quarters.
If they put it in a big stone box that is hard to get into or open, it must be very good. That is how you know the good things in Skrag's kitchen, is how hard he defends them.
Exactly. Oh, I remember he actually kept one of those boxes on board his ship, tied it to the front of the ship to intimidate enemy vessels. And as far as I understand, it worked.
No magical rep with that kind of box?
Oh, no, strangely no magic. I believe the one that he had strapped to the front of his ship on the bow was the visage of a golden man, and with blue streaks in the hood. I want to say the depiction was part snake, like a hooded cobra, but he believed that these humans wore hats to establish dominance. It's very strange. And Captain Boswell will go on more stories like that as you all eat dinner, regaling stories of his grandfather's various wild space adventures. And I think that's a good place to stop for now.
No, my God.
You know, I'm not even sure if Leonis could eat human jerky, but hey. Or would they find that a taste appetizing?
Or actually, one more thing before we end. But
What's up?
in the distance from the ship, you see a spaceport on an asteroid, and it's kind of standing out from the spaceport, kind of towards the back of it. You see this very tall, very large circus tent.
Oh no.
And that's where we'll end it for now.
You know, I know that Lyssa wanted a beach episode one time, but we're getting the circus episode.
Oh, it's not a circus episode.
Gosh.
More like Circus Maximus Ignobilis.